Hello YouTube, how are you guys doing? Hope all is going well. Today we have some domination on Nuketown 2025, shotgun gameplay. Pretty good gameplay, really enjoyed it. I really like the Nuketown 2025, I have so many gameplays on it. Yeah, so that's what we're playing. Going to be talking about peer pressure today. So we all know what peer pressure is, and if we don't, peer pressure is defined as influence that a peer group or individuals exerts, which encourages others to change their attitudes, values, or behaviors to conform to group norms. So peer pressure affects everyone. You know, it's from your peers, the guys I suppose you're hanging around with. It affects everyone from workers, college students, high school students, primary school students. In all aspects of your life, you'll come in contact with peer pressure. Now I suppose it is more of a thing. High school age is probably the peak, where peer pressure is at its strongest, I guess, point. You'll always come into a huge contact with peer pressure when you're in just trying to make new friends in new groups in different situations. So personal experience. So if you're from Ireland and England, you'll probably know what a head shop is. If you're from America, you might not. I don't know if you have head shops. So head shops are basically, don't know how legal they were, but basically anyways, I think they were kind of legal. You could, as long as you're over 18, you could like buy kind of weird kind of things to sniff or take or smoke, and it was legal, as far as I know. And so different kind of things. Narcotics, I don't know, narcotics aren't the right word, but they were pretty weird, come to think about it. So basically you could go to the head shop and you could buy like Amsterdam Kush, which is basically like kind of weed or hash, and you just roll it up into a cigarette with tobacco and smoke it and you get high off it. So that kind of stuff, it's just kind of weird stuff like that. Anyways, getting off the point. So yeah, so my own kind of personal experience was with stuff like that from the head shop, and people would be like, come on, just smoke it, it'll be fine. And no big deal. I mean, it's like, it is nice to fit in, it's quite difficult to be an individual in secondary school, you know what I mean? People don't really like you when you stand out from the crowd in weird ways, if you know what I mean. So like, and like friends be like, yeah, just come on, take a joint or of this, whatever this Kush, Amsterdam Kush or whatever it is, just take a smoke or whatever. And I'm like, sound, Josh, what's the worst that can happen? It's nice to fit in, yeah. So I've had my own experience with it. That's just one example that comes to mind. I suppose what I've studied about peer pressure in college would be relating to conformity, so like people conform. It's just what people do for some reason. I mean, it's the whole kind of, there was this big question after World War II as to like, why did the Germans kill these people? Like, I mean, why did they send the Jews to these camps? I mean, how could they have possibly have done it? No other country would have done it. So after this war, there's a lot of experiments done by like Zimbardo and Milgram, and Milgram did an experiment in the 60s, and it was like a learned experiment. Well, that's what it was shown as. And if someone got an answer wrong in an MCQ multiple choice question, they were shocked. And anyways, basically about 85% or something crazy, like a really high percentage, went to like a lethal shock. So pretty long experiment or whatever, but a lot of these, and the reason they did this because there was a guy in a white coat standing over them saying, do it, you have to. The experiment says that you must continue, you have to continue with the experiment, all this kind of stuff, and people just conformed and they did it. It's a bit strange, but my own theory on that kind of conformity is, I suppose from when you're kids, you're just taught to obey, really, aren't you? I mean, you're told to like obey your parents and obey your teachers, and if you do otherwise, you're punished for it. So I mean, you're just kind of it's bred into you, obedience and conformity. And, I mean, you don't really have a choice, do you? So that kind of sucks. Maybe there should be a way to look at that, but I don't know, it's hard to find a happy medium. So, let me know about your own experiences of peer pressure in the comments down below, by all means. But thing with dealing with peer pressure is there's ways to deal with it that are more effective than others, I guess, in especially in college life, and or sorry, especially in high school life. And you don't want to be like, no, no, I don't want to do it. My mom said it's bad or whatever, because like you just get ridiculed for that, and it's it's disgraceful that you'll get ridiculed for that, but you will. I mean, there's nothing you could do. It's just what high school kids are like. Um, so it's hard to know. I mean, how to deal with it. I mean, if it's not that bad for you, if stuff isn't that bad for you, there's nothing really wrong with taking it, I guess, or doing it, or if you're like. But then again, peer pressure never really results in good things, does it? It's not like everyone's like, "Come on, study, it's cool." That just doesn't happen, because I don't know. It's a pity. I guess you'd have a lot of smarter people if it did happen. Um, so when it comes to small things, I guess it's not too bad. Like, I mean, if it's I suppose, like, well, everything's kind of bad, really, isn't it? When it comes to peer pressure, as I just said. So like, when you're told to, like, someone's like, "I'll just take a drag of a cigarette," and you do that a couple of times, you'll eventually get addicted to it. I mean, why else would people start smoking? Because it's not like it's an expensive, dirty habit. Like, I mean, I suppose a lot of people do it because to look cool or whatever. Because the first time you smoke a cigarette, it's disgusting. Like, I've never met someone who's been like, "Oh my god, the smoking was so good, the tear in my lungs. God, it made me wet. I was so fucking, can't wait to get back in that shit again." But like, after forcing it on themselves like enough times, they get addicted to it, which is fucking ridiculous. Like, I know a lot of people socially smoke. It's not really, well, it's kind of a peer pressure thing. People would be like, you'll be out. I know in Ireland, after the smoking ban, you have to go outside. You can't smoke in a public place, so you have to go outside to smoke. And they're just, these pubs kind of made it smoking areas, and it's social. It's quite social. Like, if you're ever on a night out, you go out to the smoking area, you'll talk to people, and it's it's a bit of crack. So I could see why people would take up smoking that way. But you know what I mean. I mean, that's only been a thing recently. I don't know about people getting addicted off secondhand smoke as well. I'm sure it's a thing, but like, I was in a house with smokers. I still am, but, well, a lot of them quit, but they don't smoke in the house anymore. And you just come in and you be eating your dinner, and like, they'll be there, someone's blowing smoke in your face, and you're just like, "Fuck off! This is disgusting." Like, so it's really hard to know. But that's kind of an aside to my little talk on peer pressure. So peer pressure comes to anything. I mean, it's not just about doing drugs or drinking or doing stupid things. A lot of people are like, "Oh yeah, fucking take your parents." Not a lot of people, but people be like, "Take your parents' care out for the day. What's the worst that can happen?" And you're just like, the worst that could happen is probably going to happen. So try and give that shit a miss. I mean, there's like, so what? I mean, if you have, it's such a cliche. Like, and you hear this so much. Like, people say, people who are getting you to smoke, getting you to drink, making you do it, aren't really your friends, and that's kind of shitty, but it's just the way it is. So like, no, not to say, it's not to say if you just say straight up no to something, it's not to say that you'll have no friends. Like, I mean, one of my friends, he used to smoke quite a bit or whatever. And then, I suppose, as we got older and a bit more mature, like, he'd just be like, "Nah, I don't smoke anymore." And I'd be like, "Cool, yeah, sound." I don't smoke myself. If I go out drinking, I'll have a cigarette. But that was, jeez, that was so long ago. The last time I did that, I can't even remember. So, the last couple of nights I've been out drinking, I didn't go smoking. So I'm lucky that I don't go drinking a lot, because maybe I would be addicted to smoking and then have that addictive, stupid, expensive habit going on. So sweet, going out drinking. Yeah, so just about the gameplay there, just watching it here as I'm talking, and it's kind of laggy, and it's such a pain in the ass. I mean, it's fine, but it was just such a pain in the ass to play, and they didn't migrate the host the whole game, and then there's a little twist at the end, so it's a bit of a pain. But out from that's pretty good. So back to the topic on hand. Yeah, I mean, it's so difficult to give advice to kids. I mean, when you grow up, yeah, so high school is definitely the time for peer pressure. You can get it in college, but just not as much. People seem to be so much more open-minded in college. Definitely the university I'm in anyways, like, it doesn't matter if you don't go out drinking or you don't go smoking or you don't do drugs. Like, no one cares, no one gives a fuck. No one's like, "Oh, come on, just do it. And you won't be ridiculed for not doing it. So I mean, if you are in high school and you just see that you're in a big sea of peer pressure all the time, I mean, at least you know that it'll end. You know what I mean? I think high school is like 4 years. Sorry if I got that wrong, but you'll come out of it at the other side, and it'll be you'll get through it, and then you'll just realize when you're older that it's not that bad. It's just annoying more than anything. I suppose that another thing with peer pressure is when your friends trying to encourage you to do something, and you're worried about getting caught by your parents or a teacher and getting suspended. That's shit. You're just like, fuck. You just don't want that to happen, and it's a shitty feeling to have. And I mean, the only way to combat it really is to not do whatever it is that they're trying to get you to do. So basically, this is a real pain in the ass. Didn't migrate the host the whole game, and then the last 5 seconds of the game to start migrating the host. So I'm gonna cut it there. The game ends there. It comes back for a second and then just quits out. So thanks for watching. Please leave a like and do subscribe. I do release videos quite regularly, and comment down below if you've anything to talk about yourself. Alright guys, take it easy.